Hello. So Elizabeth is the director of SEO at Kickpoint, and she manages a broad range of SEO projects with a special focus on helping local businesses fight spam, pow, 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 and get meaningful links. She's got experience working with clients to improve their technical SEO, build SEO strategies, and write engaging and meaningful content that most importantly converts. So we're going to welcome you again because we're so excited to see you.
Hi, excited.
Hello. Not as excited as I am. Now, I have had a sneak peek at your slides, and obviously they resonate with me deeply. So we are going to delve into your talk, which is, does your local visibility have you down bad? You can fix it. No, really, you can. I'm going to go now, and we look forward to this tremendously. Go, go, go.
Awesome. So I won't have to reintroduce myself. From the title of this presentation, you'll see it's a little bit Taylor Swift coded. I promise it's not too overbearing. It's not too much. So if you really find the Swift annoying, don't hate me. But if you are a Swiftie and you notice any Easter eggs, please feel free to screenshot or reach out on LinkedIn or Twitter and share your favorites. The slides were designed so beautifully, and I'm so thankful of Emma at Kickpoint. They're amazing. But first, I'm just going to go into the charity of choice today. I chose the Alzheimer's Society of Canada. They just do really amazing research. Hopefully this dementia and Alzheimer's can be a disease of the past. They also provide really amazing support and resources and just information anyone caring for someone with Alzheimer's and dementia. So I really appreciate all of you being here today, buying tickets, and not only supporting this cause, but all the other amazing ones today. So thank you. But let's just jump right into the talk. So are any of your locations not getting the same visibility as more established or older locations if you're a multi-location business? So maybe an example, this is just one of the many. You've Googled your brand in the city where you have multiple locations, and you find that you only ever see the business profile for your oldest or most prominent location, and you don't ever see any others. But when you Google other brands, you might see kind of that mini local pack that shows all of their locations nearby. And this is assuming proximity filtering isn't the issue. Well, this tends to be a pretty common issue we've come across with multi-location businesses, but the good news is you can fix it. No, really, you can. Before we get into the tactics, we'll just cover quickly how Google ranks local businesses. So Google states that local search results are based on relevance, distance, and prominence, and it uses a combination of these factors. So if we're looking at distance, it's how far the search result is from the location term used in search. And if someone doesn't include the location term in their search, Google calculates this distance based on what they do know about the location. And while it is technically possible to influence this metric, such as finding a better location in the area you want to rank, it's not always an easy thing to do physically or financially, depending on the size of the local multi-location business. They might only be a small mom and pop shop and have 2 locations. But if your new or underperforming location is getting filtered as a result of competing Google business profile categories, or that proximity issue, they're just far too close, it should be something to consider. So anytime you create a new location or open a new location, you want to do your research to know what other similar businesses specifically are nearby or even in the same building. Prominence refers to how well known a business is, both online and offline. And Google, well, some businesses or locations within the same business are more well known than others, and Google likes to take this into account. Relevance refers to how well a business profile matches what someone is searching for. So this is where having the most accurate and complete information is going to be most important. But it is not enough to have a business profile and a single landing page for each location on your website. To be successful, we have to provide Google with as much context as possible about all of your locations, primary categories, so what you want to be most well known for, and the physical location. And we want to kind of step away from a good enough local strategy and think about how every mention of our brand and location online is going to help improve prominence and relevance. so that all of your locations are seen as important and rank. So today we're going to be covering different tactics in a step-by-step from town to town. And I'm just scared I'm going to giggle every time I make a Taylor Swift reference. So I just gave it away. In order of priority, so a nice process so that you can walk away with an internal process that covers everything when you're either auditing an underperforming location or even setting up any new one going forward. So to jump right in, we always want to start with business goals. I'm always going to repeat that. I think if you ever see me anywhere, I talk about anything, or you meet me, this is the first step always. Business goals aren't just going to help you prioritize which location you're going to work on or what service category, what primary category you want your content to focus on, but it's going to help you get the buy-in you need to get the work done, because your boss or client's going to be able to see why they should even care about this work, because they're going to kind of understand all the things that go into improving visibility and how that visibility can help reach their goals. So we're going to kind of talk about an example a little bit here and there throughout the presentation. So let's say you're an HVAC business and you have a newer West End location, and the goal is to increase the number of quality leads for furnace repair services. They really want to specialize in furnaces here. We want to focus on prioritizing this location first. Let's say this has a larger goal of reaching more leads. The other ones are fine and they're maintaining, but this is like the one that needs work. We want to focus on this location, but we also want to focus on optimizing the content to relate and focus on furnace repair services specifically. So once you kind of know why you need to do something and you can explain why you need to do it and tie it into your goals, it's time to gather kind of the basic important information you might need to build or optimize a location landing page at any citation. We created a very, very simple spreadsheet just so you can gather all the details about each location in one single place. And whether you use this spreadsheet or you have your own internal organization process, it does not matter. The goal is that we just want to work from a single source of truth with business details, so you can avoid your boss or client telling you you've gone all wrong and been trampled on, and that it keeps all the information about your businesses up to date, consistent, and accurate. Now that you have the basics down bad, it's time to gather a little more unique details about your new or underperforming location so you can build content that is not difficult for competitors to copy, helps differentiate one location from another, so this new or underperforming one from all your others, and provides supporting evidence on what that primary category is, what you want to be most known for. We can use all of this information across other areas of the internet, like social media, your business profile, other citations, and everything. So gathering it now is just going to make any next step oh so easy. Some of these items include testimonials. So they don't just help shape a user's perception of your brand, but they can help tailor your location to be more prominent for keywords in your primary category and differentiate one location from another. And while it is easy to copy and paste a review widget, you want to think about pulling out testimonials that already have your primary category keywords or location-related keywords, and then embedding these directly on your location landing page. And because we know reviews aren't just a trust factor, but a ranking factor, we want to make sure you're building reviews as early as possible or as quickly as possible, the quality ones. Please don't ever buy fake reviews. Do not. But so you want to make sure you have a real review strategy process put in place now, and if possible, before you ever open any new locations, so that as soon as you open your doors and you're feeling confident, you can start building those reviews. And once you build other citations like Yelp, Better Business Bureau, anything, we want to think about how you can build or ask for reviews across these different platforms, because you want to be featured everywhere. You want this new or underperforming feature or location to be featured on different websites. Sometimes if you're Googling a service plus city, so furnace repair Edmonton, where I'm located, you'll see usually this 10 best of Yelp listing or link. And if you're not on Yelp, you don't have reviews on Yelp, you're not going to rank on that page that's ranking for this query, right? So we just want to keep that in mind. And lastly, we want to think about how we're asking for our reviews. You want to try to provide prompts in your ask to help guide the response as best as possible and encourage users to include your primary category related keywords or even images. And no, keywords in your reviews are not a ranking factor. We want to think also here about human first interaction as well. So if more reviews are related to that primary category and it's obvious of that, it also just helps people make that decision and hopefully convert better too. Next piece of unique information is your sales process. So how you help customers book an appointment or order a product might differ depending on which location they're working out of. And again, this is just differentiating content to provide users in Google that, hey, look, this location is different from this one. Next piece of unique information is your employees. So who are the ones working at this location? You want to utilize them to build authority on what you do and where you do it. For example, creating individual team bios so that on your location landing page, you can say, hey, at this location, these people work here, including Phil here. And then Phil's going to have his own bio page where you can build on their authority on what they do and where they do it. Because on their bio page, you could even take that extra step and link back to the service page, location page that they work out of as well. So just providing more context that each location is different. So if you can take this information even a step further, and if your employees have LinkedIn profiles, you want to make sure that their position or anywhere on there, if they're active, makes mention or reference to the location they work out of. And if your location has practitioners, you want to think about how their personal online citations might make reference or link back to that location landing page that they work out of as well. Next piece is accessibility information. So is your location wheelchair accessible? Does it offer gender neutral washrooms? Again, this isn't just really helpful information for your customers, but it can help differentiate one location from another if it is a physical location. You can also mirror this information sometimes on your Google business profile. So this was for cafe with wheelchair accessible entrance. You can see that little icon. And lastly, we want to think of the partnership or community involvement. So does this location take part in local volunteer opportunities? Do they sponsor local events? Maybe they provide community members a discount, whatever it is. It's not just helpful content for your users, but it can differentiate the information between locations and competitors. You can also use it to build relevant backlinks. And you can then take this information a step further and promote any volunteer or partnership or branded work on your location-specific social media profiles. So now you have all the information you need. You can create, if it's a new, or optimize a location landing page with this information. If you're starting fresh or you just kind of want to get a good refresh or reminder about crafting high-quality location landing pages, BrightLocal is a really good resource. So I would recommend checking that out. But today we wanted to talk about other relevant on-site optimizations. So first, we want to look at the overall quality or placement of content. We want to make sure that for this new or underperforming location, we focus on the location's primary category and physical location. And here are a couple ways to do that. You want to make sure all the information is accurate and up to date and consistent with what was gathered earlier on. This is easy. I like this because sometimes it's a simple thing to fix if it's just updating outdated content. For example, a client we helped improve prominence and relevance for a second newer location had opening of August 2022 still on their location landing page in 2023. Quick fix, right? So sometimes when you see things that have to be fixed, it's a good thing. You can fix it fast. So the next way of improving quality and placement of content is looking at making sure Google knows which location is which. So we want to include your address in the title tag along with your brand and primary category keyword for that location. This is really helpful if your locations are very close by within the same area of a city, but they're not being filtered due to proximity. But you also want to make sure to include whatever that parent location keyword is, whether it's a city, suburb, or area, in the H1 header tag on your location landing page. And if your location already has a business profile, make sure you embed your GBP map. It should look like this. It should have the business name and even reviews. And if you don't have one yet, because it's a new location, come back to this step. And lastly, you want to include name, address, phone number, any important information that differentiates one location from another. So hours of operation, directions, anything higher up on the location landing page to make this information as easy to find as possible so anyone can differentiate which is which. The next on-site optimization tactic is to avoid hiding your location landing pages. So this means including location landing pages within the main navigation and internally linking to them between locally relevant case studies, service pages, or even those team bio pages we talked about earlier. We also want to focus on EEAT, that expertise, experience, authority, and trustworthiness. I don't know. I always confuse the two E's, which one's first, but This doesn't, I know we did talk about having team bios so that you can build on the person's authority on what they do, but we also want to think about adding awards or any accolades directly to your location landing page as well. So if content about your location and its primary category does not exist outside your location landing page and you're not getting the visibility you want, you have to put on your Taylor Swift mastermind hat on and build a content strategy that connects the dots. We want to think of locally relevant case studies as the Easter egg to your primary category and physical location. And again, like we said, awards, make sure they're listed if you have any local specific ones on your location landing page, but don't forget to ask for a backlink on any site where your award is mentioned. Some of these sites even have listings you can claim, so check them out and see what's there. And finally, structured data. So it is code that helps search engines better understand what the website's content is about. And we want to focus on local business schema on your location landing pages if you have a physical address. You want to avoid any irrelevant schema types. So you don't want to see like blog posting schema or article schema on a location landing page. You want to focus on local business schema first. When you're done all these step-by-steps, you can come back and add any relevant schema types after. So you have all your information, you have a location landing page to point your citations to. Now it's time to optimize, update, fix, or create any specific local or industry relevant citations. And again, we don't want to focus on just hiring a service and build me 200 because the number counts. We want to focus on the important citations, ones that are relevant for your business. You can start by looking at your high performing location citations. That's a mouthful. And you want to make sure you have the same ones as long as they're relevant for your new or underperforming location. We want to think of Taylor Swift's outfit for Reputation during the Eras tour seen here. It was the same in every city. It's that consistency again. But you want to make sure to optimize these citations to the fullest extent possible. You want to avoid or fix any inaccurate or out-of-date information. You want to be absolutely clear to Google who you are, what you do, and where you do it. And if this new or underperforming location is going to specialize in a separate service category, you want to make sure to consider any additional industry-specific citations that might help users or Google better understand what this location should be more relevant for. Now it's time to create or optimize a Google business profile. We put this after citations in a landing page. So if you have all the other proof everywhere else, hopefully it makes re-verification a little easier. I say hopefully because Google is Google. If you want a fresh start or you're building one new for Google Business Profile again, or you just want a big refresher on everything you can do with it, Whitespark has an awesome guide, so check that out. But we'll go over some additional tips specifically in this presentation. So that primary category, what is it for this new or underperforming location? You want to make sure it's the same across all the citations you've built as well. And it's highlighted as the main service category or main service offering on your location landing page that this Google Business Profile is linked to. And do not get caught barefoot in the wildest winter catching your death. That's for folklore fans, because your primary category might change seasonally. So you want to make note of when this change happens and what the category should change to at that time as well. And make sure not to forget to focus on content edits or updates on your landing page as well for that. You also want to make sure to add photos or videos that are relevant to your location's primary category. Let's say back to that HVAC example, see, came back. It wanted to focus on furnace-related services or repair services. So in this case, you don't want to just dump your entire branded photo catalog in here if the majority of them are all about AC installations or air conditioning. We want to focus on images or videos related to furnaces. So that goes for, you want to have the majority of them for that primary category. And you want to make sure to add an opening date so that it's clear that your new location is in fact open, or your current location, that underperforming one, has been open for a while. This also helps show that years in business justification in Google. That looks really nice. You also want to link to any relevant social media profiles from your Google Business Profile, but you want to make sure that this social media profile is active and that the content is consistent and matches what that primary category is. We don't want to create social content for the sake of creating social content. Lastly, make sure you add Q&As, again, relevant to that primary category. I'm a broken record today, or location if possible. This could be FAQs found on your location landing page. comments from people in social media, or even those forums when you were doing your local keyword research for these locations. But what can I do next? We want to make it absolutely clear and provide Google with as much context as possible that this new or underperforming location is ready for it. Everywhere your location is listed online is going to matter. So if your other current locations, the high performing ones, have an individual Facebook or Instagram profile for them, your newer underperforming ones should as well. But you don't want to stop at just creating this listing. You want to make sure it's optimized for that primary category again. And you want to make sure to post regularly to avoid outdated information being featured. So I say this because sometimes I'll see sites where on their website or landing page, they link out to a LinkedIn profile that has really outdated information. It talked about a new location being added that had nothing to do with this one. That location is no longer relevant or open anymore. But then if you Google them and you find other social media profiles, those ones are all active. You just want to make sure that anywhere you're listed online is going to be accurate and up to date, and it's not going to kind of show conflicting or old information. And if you have a parent organization account like on LinkedIn here, you want to make sure to list all of your locations and avoid missing any additional ones. You want to add any new ones that come up. And you want to talk your talk and go viral. So you want to share content regularly about each location across each location's social media profile, or share content equally about all of your locations on your parent social media profile. This is just going to depend on how your social media is set up for your organization. The thing here, we just want to avoid you only ever talking about your North End location and never ever making mention ever about that West End one, right? Now you have the strong foundation built. You've done all this work. You've done all the important work. You've made it clear who you are, what you do, and where you do it. Now's the time you can use that information gathered about partnerships or sponsorships or events or anything relevant to your business to focus on some local quality backlink building. So overall, there's a lot of context that goes into building prominence and relevance online, but the invisible string is consistency between your primary category and physical location. So understanding your location's business goals and prioritizing these tactics with a clear internal process. It's not just going to help you get the buy-in you need to get the work done, or because your boss or client's going to actually, again, be able to map out, okay, I've done this work and I know it's going to help me reach my goal because it's going to do X, Y, Z. But it's also going to help you build that strong foundation for this newer underperforming location and any new one going forward. So that's everything today. That's the end of my talk.